fish a lot of tours, and to fish good, you gotta be mentally prepared. And earlier in the year, my dad, he got cancer, and I couldn't focus. But thank God for modern day medicine. He talked to me all week, and he sounds great. I got my family here. But I know he's going to make it, you know. Last couple weeks I've been talking to him, and he's been getting better and better and better. In my mind, I've just been happy out there. Because you know what? Fishing's fishing. Life's everything.
Absolutely. I'm going to have somebody grab that trophy and bring it up here. We're going to do it proper. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Fred Roumbanis. Oh, there he was right in front of me, Dave. The president of the PAA, Mr. Dave Mansu. Center stage, Fred, ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the second round of the Van Pro Shop PAA Tournament Series presented by Carrington, Fred Roumbanis. Now that the emotion, all right, now this one obviously is pretty much dedicated to your dad, but man, so many people behind you, especially your family.
I got to give, well, I don't know, Jackson said he wanted the boat, but I told him I'd give him the trophy. Hi, Jack. Anyway, but you know, my let's come over here. You know, my family's been on the road with me, and we got a 10-month-old, and you know, we've been traveling hotel to hotel, so I'm just looking forward to getting them home and treating her to a spa day, whatever she wants to do. But and Jackson to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, and Avery, I'll give you some more milk. I don't know, but well, maybe we'll try chocolate milk, but. I got to tell you guys, I've never been to this lake. I've never seen this lake before, and I got on the water, and I came from Detroit, and there we were catching smallmouth bass, and this was just last week, and you drop your line down, you get a 3-pound plus fish, whether it's a largemouth or smallmouth, pretty much every single drop. Come here, it wasn't quite like that at first. So the first day I got one bite, and I threw the frog. I went down the bank, threw the frog, and I kept thinking, I know better than this. They're not. The water's just too still. There's not enough oxygen. And I started putting it together. And I worked with Gerald Brown, and we came together and figured out we need to be flipping. You know, it's subtle, real subtle. I was using the smallest possible weight flipping you could ever imagine. And really, the key was to let it glide into that grass. And you could not move your trolling motor. You couldn't do anything to interfere with that grass. And you know, when they started pulling a little water, which didn't happen a whole lot this week, it didn't matter. They just bit a whole lot better. But when it got real slow, you just had to just put your head down and fish hard. This morning we went out and you know, we had that storm come through, and you know, I've thrown a frog my whole life in tournament fishing, and the number one thing after hot weather, you get a cold night, the first cold snap, you better be throwing topwater. And for me, it's a frog. And I went out there, and I didn't even think to even re-spool or tie a new frog on. It was just one I had from catching up in Detroit. And I actually remember getting stuck in a tree, and it was so shallow I couldn't get to it. I had to break some line off. So I only had half a spool of line on my reel. And I pulled my frog out, first cast, caught a 3-pounder. I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be fun. And I'd pick it up, make a couple more casts. I said, well, no, I need to flip. So I call all my fish flipping. I made the cut flipping. And I went back, and I saw like just a line of grass. It just looked perfect, and just a little breeze, and I could see some movement in there, and you could see bait flickering, so I picked a frog up. And I walked that sucker nice and slow, let it pause. I mean, you got to work it really slow in this hot weather. You can't just go real fast and quick. And I mean, just like letting it sit for like 3 seconds at a time, and then give it a couple pops, and then that 4.5 grabbed it, and put that one in the boat. Then I said, I got to find another reel with brakes. I cannot cast far like I want to, so. You know, these Ardent reels that I'm using, you can cast a mile when you got a full spool of line, and you can cast a half a mile when you got half a spool of line. So anyway, all week, you know, I got a signature Ardent, I wish I had a signature Ardent reel, but I got a signature iRod, and it's called Fred's Magic Stick, and I use that for flipping. I also used a El Grande Lures. They make a special rod for heavy timber down in Texas, and I use that for flipping. Because it was short impact strikes. I used 20-pound P-line fluorocarbon. I used Picasso. Now, the trick was using a real lightweight. And I used an 1/8 ounce and a 16th ounce and 3 16th ounce. It just depended on the situation and the depth, if I could see a foot under the boat or not. Of course, my Triton, Mercury, everything ran good. I run that Verado, and I'll tell you what, that is one smooth ride. It's got electric power steering, and when we make these long runs and everything, coast to coast, you can get to your first spot and have full grip. You don't have to fight the torque of a conventional steering. And then the Triton boat, excellent padded deck for this heat and stuff, and live wells work great all week. I'm going through all my sponsors here, so Julie might have to help me out, so I'm losing track. I'm a Lures. I've got a signature bait called a Rumba. I was tempted to throw it a lot this week, but I had to stick with my game plan. So I got to thank I'm a Lures and Optimum Swim Baits. They've just been probably one of my best sponsors since day one. They've supported me and through thick and thin, and I will support them through thick and thin. We got a new shallow water device we're working on right now. It's called the OmniLift, and I'm telling you guys, this is something cool. You can raise your trolling motor by a push of a button vertically, and once we get this thing right, it's going to be the next power pole. And power poles help me a lot. Every time I catch a fish, drop my power pole. I wouldn't move the boat and sit there and flip it and flip and flip, and then move the boat. That way you're not disturbing. Power poles have absolutely changed the game in bass fishing. So let's see here.
Why don't you set that down, because my arms are tired from watching you actually. Hold it up again. Let's hear it for Fred Roumbanis. And he can come on up. Come on up and around.
Oh, I got to think.
Okay, yeah, come on over.
Just get those arms a little breather. I mean, adrenaline's going to run off eventually. Obviously, I got to thank Bass Pro Shops for sponsoring the PAA, and thanks for the PAA for being an awesome organization, and I plan on growing with you guys, and for the long haul. So, you guys, what's awesome about the PAA? You can enter it. You can all enter this tournament if you want to. Whether you do it as a non-boater or you do it as a boater. It's an opportunity for guys to skip a couple steps and make it big time. So, and obviously, Jack's that's going to be in his room. Typhoon sunglasses, warm all week, never fogged up except for when I was sweating really, really bad. But no, they worked great. I could see that. I could tell when I was going to get bitten when I wasn't by the color of the water, and I couldn't have done that without Typhoon sunglasses. So, Julie, who else? Are we good? And I just got to thank all my sponsors. I got to thank Gerald Brown. We worked together, and we literally tag teamed this whole lake in 3 days. And I really was hoping he was going to make a cut with me. And, I guess it probably worked out for me because we didn't share a spot on the final day. But him and Gayla have been great. She's been packing lunches all week. And just want to thank all you guys for being here. It's a great fishery. Hope I get to come back soon.
Absolutely. Hang out up on stage here. I think we're going to bring Dave, finishing second, please welcome up grand total of 38.47 pounds.